So President Trump drew some ridicule for a misspelled tweet in which he claimed to be America's chief hostage negotiator. Of course, the word chief spelled wrong. Now, this is related, of course, to the news that Trump had allegedly paid North Korea, or will pay North Korea, a sum of $2 million for their treatment of Otto Warmbier. Like, not for their treatment, but for supposedly medical treatment. Well, now, wait a minute here. Otto Warmbier was in such bad shape when he was released into U.S. custody that he died soon after. Now, he was apparently tortured in a North Korean prison camp. He was in bad shape. He did not get those injuries here. He got those injuries in North Korea. Now, Donald Trump's like, oh, we owe you $2 million? Okay, we will pay you $2 million. Well, now, wait a minute. It's not us that should be making payments to North Korea. It is North Korea that should be making payments to the Warmbier family. I'm just saying. But our dotard in chief, not a smart person, not a very stable genius, right? And he says, oh, I'm going to pay it. I'm going to pay the sum. It's going to be tremendous. Oh, now, of course, here comes the twisty twist on this one. Various news reports have also said that even though Trump had originally agreed to pay it, the bill is unpaid. Shocker. And now, of course, later on, he comes out on Twitter and says, I never agreed to pay this money to North Korea. Well, you know what? I hope he doesn't pay it. Because it's outrageous that North Korea would even say, yeah, you owe us $2 million for the medical treatment of Otto Warmbier. Get out of here. No. Anyway, so now it's basically very typical Trump for him to promise to pay for something and then he doesn't pay for anything. And then he lies about promising to do it in the first place. The man is pathological. He has no idea, right? Then to add into it, when criticized, President Trump said this, President Donald J. Trump is the greatest hostage negotiator that I know of in the history of the United States. Nice third person here. Jeff Waldorf says you're an idiot. See, I can do third person too. 20 hostages, many in impossible circumstances, have been released in the last 2 years. No money was paid. Chief hostage negotiator, USA. Okay, look. Saying that you're going to pay for hostages, that's not good hostage negotiation. Especially when the hostages, when they're released, die from their injuries. That doesn't make any sense. Hey, you know what a actual good negotiation is? And not necessarily related to hostages, but a good example of negotiating a good deal would be the Iran deal, where Iran agreed not to develop nuclear weapons and complied with inspections. But of course, Donald Trump ripped that deal up. You know why? Because it was Obama. And because he's an idiot. So that said, Donald Trump's misspelled tweet and his plan to pay North Korea, which again makes no sense, got a lot of criticism from social media. Juggle Socialism, which I love that. Twitter handle says, President Donald J. Trump also has a great hog. Healthy and big. Definitely not crooked. He's a shower and a grower. Chief Dick Inspector, USA. I love it. Jeff Tiedrich says, I'm not sure how to break this to you, Mr. President, sir, but forking over $2 million ransom so that your dictator playdate with a brutal dictator can take place is actually the opposite of being the greatest anything. Except maybe the greatest embarrassment ever. Chris, on the subject of hostage negotiation and hostage release, says you should negotiate the release of Melania. I love that. Oh, I'm pretty sure Melania's like, I can't wait for this guy to die for me to get his money. Hea Camus says, you have taken America hostage. That's not true. John Pavlovich says, my 9-year-old can spell chief correctly. Of course, my 9-year-old also has more maturity, deeper moral conviction, better self-control, and a greater grasp of the issues. To be honest, it doesn't take much. Not to dismiss that I'm sure is a wonderful 9-year-old. But I don't know. It doesn't take a whole lot to be better than Donald Trump. I'm pretty sure most toddlers have more deeper self-control than Mr. President. Tony Poznanski says, effing install spell check on your phone. You're the effing president. And I can understand you screwing up big words by criminal. But Cheif? Yeah, I know. That's a difficult one to not get wrong. Nick Jack Pappas says, no wonder Trump served fast food at the White House. The chefs were being held hostage. You mean he wasn't interested in hamburgers? I know, right? Man. Then one more from Pappas says, Trump is holding the English language back, and maybe you should pay it whatever it takes to get it back. I love these. And Benjamin Dixon says, quote, is this like when you called around to see your own publicist to promote yourself? You know what? I almost forgot about that. That's really sad. Yes, he would call people up literally as John Barron, right? And say things, did you hear about the divorce of Donald Trump? And would say all these things about himself as someone else. And there are literal calls, right? There are literal tapes of this. Now, John Barron wasn't a real person. He literally made this person up in order to promote himself. Pathological. How sad is that? How demented is that? Imagine if a Democrat did any of that. Imagine how conservative media would respond to such a thing. And I'm not talking about just Trump posing as his own publicist. That's weird, right? No. It's Trump saying, I'm going to pay another country $2 million for medical bills related to that country torturing someone. I mean, again, North Korea tortured him so badly that he became comatose and then later died. And I'm pretty sure he hasn't treated, or I'm pretty sure they haven't treated any kind of prisoner all that well. Imagine, though, if Obama did that, right? Obama hates his country. They'd scream. He's literally standing on Warbeard's grave while slapping the family in the face. I knew Obama was a radical communist supporting North Korea, wanting to give them money. How dare he? How dare he? It would be hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. And they'd never let us forget about the traitor Obama giving money to the North Koreans. I mean, they're still lying about us giving money to Iran. That wasn't our money. It was their money that we stole from them and that we released when we did the Iran deal. That was their money that they paid us before the revolution in Iran. But the hypocrisy never stops when it comes to right-wingers. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent progressive media.